Hey everyone, and welcome. I know a lot of you out there are probably thinking about hiring a test engineer or developer,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and that can be, well, a little overwhelming, right?
It really can.
So we're going to try and make it a little easier for you today.
Absolutely.
We're doing a mini deep dive today,
Yeah, a mini one.
focusing on answering your most frequently asked questions.
Yeah, the most common ones for sure.
When it comes to finding the right person for the job,
Exactly.
and we're pulling all our insights from theperfectdeveloper.com,
Awesome resource.
which, by the way, if you're serious about hiring, you should definitely check out.
Oh, for sure.
They're kind of the authority on finding top developer talent.
Absolutely.
In fact, they have this awesome tool called the 5 Questions.
I love that tool.
It's specifically designed to help you figure out exactly what you need in your next hire.
Yeah, it really helps narrow things down.
So before we even dive in, head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and give the 5 questions a try.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Okay, now let's get down to business.
Awesome. Let's do it.
When we talk about test engineers and developers,
Right.
what exactly are we talking about?
So
What
basically,
did they do?
they're the quality assurance pros.
Ah,
They're the ones making sure that your software works flawlessly
right.
before it ever reaches your users.
Makes sense. So like,
Like the gatekeepers of quality.
well, gatekeepers, I like that, but how are they different from just a regular developer?
Right, good question.
Because I feel like a lot of people lump them all together.
They do, yeah, but it's all about specialization.
Okay.
So a regular developer, they might focus on building new features, right?
Yeah.
But a test engineer, their laser focus is on finding and preventing bugs.
Ah,
They're all about quality,
gotcha.
and they have a unique set of skills.
Okay. Like what?
They're experts in testing frameworks, things like Selenium or JUnit.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
These are critical for automating tests
Right.
and making sure that quality is consistent.
Makes sense. So it's not just like manual testing anymore.
Oh, no, it's way beyond that.
It's much more sophisticated.
Definitely.
So they're kind of like detectives then.
Exactly. They're meticulously investigating every little piece of your software
Yeah.
to uncover any hidden issues before they become big problems.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Right. Like little code detectives.
It paints a much clearer picture.
Glad to hear.
So let's say I'm ready to hire.
All right.
What skills should I be on the lookout for?
Okay, so first and foremost,
Yeah.
programming languages.
Right. Essential.
Absolutely, but it goes beyond that.
Okay.
You want someone who's really proficient in testing methodologies,
Uh-huh.
someone who can write clean, efficient test scripts,
Got it.
and someone with a keen eye for detail.
So attention to detail is key.
Absolutely crucial.
Now, what about salary?
Ah, yes. The big question.
I imagine experienced test engineers are in high demand.
You are absolutely right.
So what kind of salary range are we talking about?
Well, it really depends on a few factors.
Like what?
Location, experience, industry, those all play a role.
Right. Makes sense.
But theperfectdeveloper.com gives us some good benchmarks.
Okay, let's hear them.
So in the US, for example, you're probably looking at an average range of $70,000 to $110,000 per year.
Wow, that's a pretty decent range.
It is.
And what about theperfectdeveloper.com's engineers specifically?
Right, so their engineers are all pre-vetted.
Yeah.
Like they've been screened across over 100 tech skills.
Oh, wow.
So they're the cream of the crop.
That's impressive.
And their rates typically fall between $60 and $80 per hour.
Oh, wow. That's really helpful to know.
Yeah, it gives you a good starting point.
So now I'm thinking, okay, I have a better idea of salary.
Right.
But how do I actually structure the hiring process?
Ah, yes, another great question.
Do I go full-time, part-time, in-house, outsource?
There are a lot of options.
There are so many.
And the best one for you really depends on your needs and budget.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Let's break down each option and see which one might be the best fit.
Sounds good to me.
But first, we're going to take a quick pause and be right back.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Okay, so let's start with full-time in-house hiring.
Okay, full-time in-house.
So this gives you a dedicated team member,
Right.
someone who's fully integrated into your company culture and processes.
That makes sense. That sounds good for like consistency and collaboration.
Exactly.
But I imagine it comes with a higher cost.
You are right. You're responsible for salary, benefits, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. All the costs of a full-time employee.
Okay.
Now, on the other end of the spectrum,
Okay.
you have outsourcing or freelance work.
Ah, so that's kind of the opposite then.
Yeah. This can be a really cost-effective way to tap into specialized skills,
Okay.
especially for maybe shorter-term projects.
That makes sense, but
Yeah.
what about communication?
Ah, good point.
And potential cultural barriers. I've heard those can be tricky with remote teams.
Absolutely. Those are valid concerns.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important to choose a reputable outsourcing partner or freelancer.
Someone with excellent communication skills.
So how do you find those people?
Well, you know, job boards are an option.
Yeah, those can be tough, though.
They can be really time-consuming.
Lots of sifting.
Exactly. But LinkedIn is a great platform.
Yeah, LinkedIn's good for connecting with professionals.
For sure. And don't forget about referrals.
Oh, referrals. Yeah, those are gold.
They're so valuable.
It's like having someone you trust vouch for the candidate.
Exactly. It's a built-in stamp of approval.
Okay, so let's say I found some good candidates.
Awesome.
We're ready for interviews.
All right, interview time.
How do I actually assess their skills?
So you want to look at both their technical skills
Right.
and how well they'd fit within the team.
So it's a two-parter.
Absolutely. For the technical side,
Yeah.
assessments are key.
Like what kind of assessments?
ThePerfectDeveloper.com recommends coding tests.
Oh, cool.
Or even asking for code samples.
So you can see how they actually write code.
Exactly. It shows you their problem-solving process and how clean their code is.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
But it's not all about technical skills, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
What about those soft skills?
Right. Things like communication, problem-solving, those are essential too.
So how do you gauge that?
Behavior questions are great for that.
Ah, so you can see how they've handled challenges in the past.
Exactly. And you could even do a group interview
Oh, interesting.
to see how they interact with potential teammates.
Yeah, because team dynamics are so important.
They really are. You need everyone working well together.
Okay, so let's talk salary negotiations.
All right, the money talk.
How do I make sure I'm offering a fair and competitive package?
Well, transparency is key.
Oh,
Be upfront about your budget
right.
and do your research to understand typical salaries for similar roles in your area.
Yeah, know the market.
Exactly. And remember, it's not just about salary.
Right, there are other things too.
Perks, things like flexible work arrangements.
Oh, yeah, those are huge these days.
Or professional development opportunities.
Yeah, people really value those.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
That benefits both you and the candidate.
Precisely. You both got to be happy with the deal.
Makes sense. Now let's say we found the perfect test engineer.
Awesome.
They've accepted the offer.
They said yes.
How do we make sure they have a smooth onboarding experience?
Oh, onboarding is so important.
It really sets the tone. Right?
Absolutely. You want to make sure they feel welcome and set them up for success.
So what are some key steps?
Well, first things first, equipment.
Okay, make sure they have everything they need.
Exactly. The right tools, access to systems, all that good stuff.
And introductions to the team.
For sure. Got to meet everyone.
And maybe even a mentor.
Oh, a mentor is a great idea.
Someone to guide them through the company culture and answer questions.
Exactly. It can make a huge difference in those first few weeks.
So it's all about making them feel comfortable and supported.
Absolutely. And that leads to better performance in the long run.
Right, it's an investment.
And remember, while technical skills are essential, don't underestimate the power of those soft skills.
The soft skills, communication, collaboration, all that.
Those are the things that really make a team great.
They really do elevate a team to the next level.
For sure. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by the hiring process,
Which, let's face it, it can be.
it can be a lot.
There are resources out there to help.
Absolutely. And theperfectdeveloper.com is a fantastic one.
Yeah, they've done so much of the heavy lifting for you.
They've pre-vetted candidates.
And they have those awesome tools
It's like the 5 questions.
that can really help you focus your search.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to use those resources.
They're there to make your life easier.
And help you find the perfect fit for your team. All right. So we've talked a lot about hiring.
We have a lot of great info.
Well, now I want to shift gears a bit.
Okay, where are we going?
Let's talk about building a strong team.
Ah, the team itself.
Yeah, because even the best test engineer,
Right.
they need a good environment to thrive in.
Makes sense. So how do we create that environment?
Well, especially with remote teams,
Yeah, remote work is so common now.
communication is absolutely key.
Communication, always important.
And even more so when you're remote.
Okay, so what does that look like practically?
Regular check-ins.
No, so like scheduled meetings.
Yeah, it could be video calls or using project management tools like Jira.
So everyone stays on the same page.
Exactly. No one feels lost or out of the loop.
And I imagine with different time zones,
Oh, yeah. Time zones can be a challenge.
communication becomes even more crucial.
For sure. And it's not just about how often you communicate.
Right, there's more to it.
It's about the quality of that communication.
So how do we make sure it's good quality?
You want open and honest dialogue.
Where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas,
Exactly. And asking questions.
even voicing concerns.
Absolutely. It should be a safe space.
where everyone feels heard and respected.
Exactly. And don't forget about team building,
Team building. Oh, yeah.
even if it's virtual.
Okay, so like virtual coffee breaks.
Yeah, those are great. Or online games.
Something fun to bring everyone together.
Exactly. It helps build those connections.
Makes a big difference. But let's be real.
Uh-oh, what's coming?
Conflicts happen, even in the best teams.
Oh, yeah, conflict is inevitable.
So how do we deal with that?
The key is to address it early on.
Don't let it fester,
Exactly. Encourage open dialogue and active listening.
so everyone feels understood.
Right. Sometimes just letting people express their perspective.
Can be enough to diffuse the situation.
It can. It helps to clear the air.
So it's all about understanding where everyone's coming from.
Precisely. And if things can't be resolved within the team,
Okay, what then?
you might need a mediator.
Like a project manager or team lead?
Yeah, someone who can help find a resolution.
Someone neutral to facilitate the conversation.
Exactly. So to wrap up our mini deep dive here,
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground today
we have, but hopefully you're feeling more prepared
to tackle this whole hiring process.
and build an amazing team.
So, any final words of wisdom?
Remember, finding the right talent takes time and effort,
It does. It's a process.
but it's an investment that pays off in the long run.
It really does. A good team is worth its weight in gold.
Couldn't agree more, and don't forget about those resources.
Right, theperfectdeveloper.com.
They can really simplify your hiring journey.
They make it so much easier.
So if you're ready to take the next step,
Head over to theperfectdeveloper.com.
and try out the 5 questions.
It's a great starting point for finding your perfect test engineer or developer.
Good luck with your search.
And until next time, happy hiring, everyone.